All right, I need to come clean a little bit and talk about some of the struggles that I've been having during my self-improvement journey. This is week one of my second month, going really hard into this, and I've encountered a lot of challenges that, frankly, I wasn't ready for. So let me just paint a picture for you, and just quickly, if you're wondering why you should watch this video, it's because if you're intending on taking some action in terms of, self-improvement, committing and changing your life, you're going to run into a lot of similar issues. And that's exactly why I made this channel, so that you could learn from me and maybe learn a little bit quicker and skip some of this bullshit from my perspective. Because these are things that nobody really talks about, and it's really hard. And to be completely honest with you, it's only getting harder. So, just to recap what I've done, in my last video I talked a lot about it. I cut out everything basically that was holding me back, identified the problems in my life and got rid of them. And then I kind of hit a dark spot where I was questioning my identity and why I wanted to do certain things, et cetera, et cetera. And I kind of caught that and made a commitment to try and do better. And so that's what I've been working on this last week. But let me just paint a quick picture as to what my life is like right now. Um, I'm living in this apartment, which I'm sure on camera here looks nice. It's fine, honestly, the unit's fine, but the building management is super fucked up. There's bug infestations, and everybody hates it here. The heat doesn't work, shit like that. I've been struggling a little bit with we can't really afford any furniture, so this place is just empty. This is my newest fixture, some drying rack for my clothes. Um, but getting a bed was a huge thing for me. I don't really have that many friends, and the ones that I do, I don't keep in contact with very often. Just because I think in a lot of ways I'm on a very different path, and it's just hard to relate. And also, I find that when I'm doing this stuff, I don't have a lot of time to waste or to give into those bad habits. Um, and yeah, and then I just started a new job. That's been going pretty well, but it's been nice to make some money. For a while there. I wasn't really doing much, but I'm doing eavesdropping. So I'm working up on roofs, and it's funny because it's the one thing that I swore I would never do because I've tried it before and I could never get it because I was too scared of heights and everything. And here I am. And to be honest, it's been incredibly stressful. I'm still scared of heights and ladders and stuff, like not really heights, but more like being on like pitched roofs and everything and getting off like a ladder and stuff. It just feels super sketchy. And like realistically, it's the one job with like the highest fatality rate in terms of your like normal jobs, right? Obviously, like deep sea extreme scuba divers or whatever, of course, but like a lot of people fall off roofs, roofers and shit like that die more often than anybody else. So it's like the danger is real and everything. But anyway, I'm rambling, but like I'm terrified every day, and I kind of feel like a little bitch for not being able to like push through it sometimes, and I have, but then like in some days and on other days I haven't. And to be honest, it's kind of like made me question myself, and part of me is like, the fuck am I doing here? Is this even smart? Is this even reasonable? The reason I chose this is because the schedule works for me. It's 4 days a week, which gives me lots of time to like focus on, my self-improvement stuff, making these videos, and any other thing that I got going on. I've been trying to like figure out ways to make money online, stuff like that, right? And it's great for all that. The pay is good for the time spent. Sometimes you get to go early, start early in the morning, so you have your afternoons and your evenings a lot of the time to yourself. Um, but yeah, it's been really tough. So I'm in a very difficult situation with that. Like, so one day last week, the first day that I got up on like a second story roof, and when you're doing eavesdropping, like we lean off the edge of the roof and like work on the gutters and stuff. But I was terrified the entire day. And even though it was like a relatively easy day in terms of labor, I came home and just like I slept like the dead. I couldn't do anything. I was just so fried from all that stress. And this isn't like a oh boo hoo me thing. I'm just trying to paint a picture as to where I'm at and like what's going through my mind. Because I think when you start to try and make those changes in your life again, you're gonna maybe find yourself in a similar spot. So, and then on top of that, I had my sister's wedding last weekend. And of course, there's some drinking, there was some smoking, which I didn't foresee. So I kind of slid backwards on that a little bit, to be completely honest with you. Nowhere near the level that I was before, but I've been like, everybody at my job smokes like a fucking choo-choo train too. So it's been, and couple that with my fucking intense fear and yeah, I've had a couple darts here and there, but what can I say? Like, it's not the end of the world. And I'm gonna make a video about that actually, about how taking things too serious actually like really sets you back, because I'm not gonna look at this as like somebody, oh no, I fucking had another cigarette or whatever. No big deal. It's the same as before. I can just choose to walk away. That being said, I haven't just kind of dropped it and walked away. I've continuously had like a couple a day or whatever for a week. And the thing is doesn't even really help. I can't fully explain why I'm doing it. And I guess the overarching theme of this video is that like when you push in life, expect that life will push back a little bit, because it will, and this is what I'm finding. And there's just such a tremendous irony to all of it, if I'm honest. Like with it being the one thing that I swore I'd never do, and then that's the offer that falls in my lap. And it literally did fall in my lap. It was like an offer that was hard to refuse, kind of thing. And so like here I am. And then yeah, it's just wild. And there's been a lot of other coincidences and stuff like that that I won't even really get into. So then, yeah, so there's been all that stress with the job. With that being said, though, like I still am making progress. Like I've been going to the gym after work and stuff. I switched over my gym membership to somewhere that's like easier for me to get to after work, so I can like come home, hit the gym, and then come back home. I've been too tired. I haven't like really done any work on business or anything, like a little bit, but I've been generally like a lot more productive. And like even with my sleep routine, that was a big adjustment as well, because I have to get up. I have to leave the house by 5:30 for this job. So that was hard to adjust to as well. But I'm doing it, right? It's just don't expect it to be easy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And like it's gonna get dark. It's gonna get hard. You're gonna struggle with things. Like one thing for me, another thing is I did some calculations in terms of like my fitness goals, and realized that like as long as I stay natural, what I'm aiming for like won't happen until I'm well in my 30s at this point. And it's basically not because I'm less disciplined. It's not that I couldn't have done better. I could have done a lot better, but I've still been more disciplined with the gym over the last few years than most people would. Like I've put on 30 or 40 pounds of muscle, but I started out being actually right on the borderline of being actually legitimately anorexic. Like so it's just tough to come to that realization that like, hey, unless I hop on gear, I'm not really going to hit that in any reasonable amount of time. And so you have to compromise, and that affects my identity. Like even when I'm here talking, I'm like, who am I? Like I wanted fitness to be like a large part of this, and I'm struggling so much with my fitness, with my identity around fitness and everything like that. And it's like, even though I've put in all that work, it feels like I've got nothing to show for it. And it's tough. And these are things that you'll run into, because when you're just meandering through life, coping, spending all your time gaming and chasing quick and easy pleasure and fucking around with your buddies and stuff like that, you'll never actually sit down and come to any of these realizations. You'll never actually like put yourself in a position where you're gonna like encounter these failures or these crises. And that's what I'm getting at. And I'm not even coming to you today like, oh, here's the answer, here's the solution. I'm just saying like expect resistance, like prepare for it. and be, and I don't want to sound discouraging, but it's like, be ready to push back. Like, I'm not gonna give up. I look at what would happen if I don't keep going, and that's infinitely more terrifying than anything that could be going on right now. With that being said, like, are things gonna work out at my job? Are things gonna work out with X, Y, and Z? I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. But you gotta have the courage to push forward even when you have no fucking idea what you're doing, is what I'm learning. Because other, like, maybe nothing happening is comfortable, but I think we have this naive idea that as soon as we start to like really push to make things better, that everything's just gonna fucking change and be beautiful. But it's like, no, I've been disciplined, I've worked hard, I've tried, I've taken risks, and I'm suffering arguably even more. But I think the real silver lining to this is that if you're willing to do that, and I think I'm coming to the realization that 99.9% of people are not, I think that there's a reward in there. And if there's not, then I'm an idiot, and I've staked my entire life on something that is impossible. But I would rather live with truth in my heart and conviction and be a fool than never try and never win and be always left wondering. I often think about being on my deathbed and reflecting on my life. I could live with a life of failure so long as I tried. I couldn't live with myself if I gave up. And sometimes I imagine myself just living the way that I was living and getting nowhere in life and not really being able to do anything and being on my deathbed with regrets. Maybe there's no kids to visit me. Maybe my girlfriend dies before me and I'm all by myself and I'm just sitting there thinking about how I wasted my fucking life. And I don't think that any kind of pain or suffering that I'm going through right now could even remotely compare to that. So that's a good thing to think about to keep me in check. And just to end off on a more positive note, like, things are getting better consistently, like day after day. I'm like performing better. There's a good chance I could adjust to this job. I've set out like some long-term, mid-term, and like short-term goals for myself over the next, over the next period of time that I can kind of orient myself towards. And right after this video, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to keep researching how to make money online. Been struggling a lot with indecisiveness as a result of everything that's been going on with my identity. But again, to summarize everything in one phrase, I think it's all just a part of the process. So be ready for it. If you've been struggling with something like this yourself, I would love to hear about it. So please tell me about your experiences, because I can benefit from that too. I'd love to hear your perspective. And but without, I won't take up any more of your time, but thanks for watching this video. I will continue updating as time goes on. Going to try and upload a little bit more frequently too, but that's it for now.